Welcome back to the Humble Market Timer YouTube channel. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. In today's video, we're going to speculate what will be the best performing asset in 2026. Before I go any further, please check the description for my disclaimer. Once again, these are my sole ideas, not investment advice. Now, in 2024, the best performing asset by far was, can you guess? Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency pretty much led the way in 2024 as being the best performing major asset in the markets. However, in 2025, it will go down as the year for precious metals. By far, precious metals have been the best performing asset in the market. Here you can see there's a chart of the best performing assets. It's the end of December, so this might not be completely accurate in 1 or 2 days, but you get the gist. The best performing assets were platinum and silver. We all know palladium has done well, gold has done well, but really this will go down as the year of precious metals, with platinum and silver leading the way as the best performing assets. Now, because silver and platinum and gold have done so well in 2025, many people are starting to speculate what could be the best performing asset in 2026. And right now, a lot of people have their own speculations as to what that next thing could be. You could say maybe it could be Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin has a comeback next year. But typically, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin does not perform as well when you've had a bull market run. Generally, there's about a year cool off in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and we still, I believe, have a long ways to go in that cool off period before we have another push in cryptocurrencies. So I really don't think Bitcoin is going to come back and take that lead once again in 2026. Ironically, Bitcoin was also the best performing asset in 2023. So Bitcoin had a great run. It's due for a cool off period. I don't think next year will quite be the year. 2027, though, I think could be another big year coming for crypto and Bitcoin. Another asset that people think might do well next year, and they're speculating, is oil. Here is a chart of oil. As you can see here, it's been in a pretty significant downtrend. This is a weekly chart over a much extended period of time. You can see back in late 2000, we had that big drop in oil, and we made a big bounce. And as you can see, we have kind of pulled back off that big bounce that we made in oil. And I put a little line here so you can kind of see where we had a point of support for oil. We bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here, bounced off it here. But as you can see here, we broke past this resistance. This support that held pretty well, going all the way back to 2015. So, in looking at this chart, even though a lot of people are speculating that maybe oil could make a big return in 2026, because it made such a big move and we have recently pushed down through that area of support, I'm not getting a very good vibe that oil will be one of the leading assets in 2026, even though a lot of people out there are starting to speculate that. In my opinion, the best potential performing asset in 2026 is lithium. Now, lithium is kind of one of those commodities that's been really beaten down. It had a massive move about 2 or 3 years ago due to all of the euphoria regarding electric vehicles, and we all know that the batteries require a lot of lithium, so that caused a massive spike in lithium. However, due to that spike, there became a lot of production of lithium, and we ended up kind of being in an oversupply standpoint, and that caused the price to pull back significantly. If you notice here, I'll put this is a chart of lithium carbonate. This is the 5-year chart. You can see we had that big spike in 2022 and 2023, but look at the pullback that we have had. Massive pullback. You see here we bottomed. If you look at here the year to date, we bottomed here in June, but as you can see, we've made quite a push off that bottom in June, probably up about maybe 80 to 90% off the bottom in June. But if you look here, you can see how this bottom is starting to round. And if we start to see a curve up, you could potentially see a big push, in my opinion, in lithium in 2026. We've already started here in 2025. I believe it's up about 30% in 2025, but a lot of that is because it was down so much looking at it in 2024 and 2023, the latter part of 2023. And a lot of belief of why lithium will skyrocket potentially, in my opinion, in 2026 will be because of China. They're talking about ramping up EV vehicles even more in the coming years. That period of oversupply is now potentially going to be at an even point to maybe being at a deficit by the end of 2026. You're talking about the people now are starting to talk more about the solid state batteries, which hold charge. Those use even more lithium than the previous batteries that were used in electric vehicles. So in my opinion, there are a lot of things pointing at lithium being a potential massive winner in 2026 as the best performing asset. Just sort of as an honorable mention, I want to also take a look at tungsten. It's been one of those items that has recently gotten a big push going back here. If you look at this chart, back in about March of 2025, it started to make a big push here. We could potentially see some consolidation in 2026, or we could move higher. Tungsten is one of those precious metals that's used as it's used as a hardener, and it's used often in a lot of military applications, those armor-piercing type of ammunition, and it's one of those things also that if you look back at some of the restrictions that China has put on some precious metals, one of those precious metals was silver, another was antimony, and the third is tungsten. So you could potentially see a tighter supply of that tungsten, which could mean more of an increase in the price. So in my opinion, I do believe the next best performing asset in 2026 will be lithium. Keep an eye on that. Maybe we get a repeat performance in precious metals. It's a possibility that silver and platinum and gold could rise even more as you talk about the debasement rate in the dollar and inflation. So it could potentially carry over even more in 2026. However, typically in those precious metals, you don't get back-to-back massive winners. There's a chance, but generally you don't get that. But both of those precious metals or other precious metals could also still do well in 2026. Just might not be the best performing asset. So based on this, my opinion, I believe the best performing asset in 2026 will be lithium. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the price of lithium. Hope you like the content. If you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.